Hey, welcome back to our channel. I'm Jared from 3C's Recreation. I've got Braxton helping me. We had a customer bring in his 2018, it's a 302 stroke, and this electric start is not working for him. The starter motor is doing its job, so is the battery, so we've got a new starter Bendix, and I thought we'd show you guys how to install this. First, I'll give you guys a sound of what the bike is doing. So, obviously in these models are electric start, so you can hear the starter doing its job on the other side. And it's not kicking the Bendix out. So we're going to install this right now and I'll show you guys how. This is a relatively easy install. We got to get the stator cover off. There's 5 bolts. And when you take this off, make sure you keep track of your centering pins. There's going to be one back here, and I believe the other centering pin's up in here. So I'm going to pull this off and we'll rotate it off to the side. We're not going to disconnect the stator. We're going to leave it right on the cover. So we'll get it pulled off and swing it over. Just make sure you guys know that there are 2 different lengths of bolts here. So when you put them back in, make sure you put the right bolt in the right hole. So now all we gotta do is take the cover and I'll move it over to the side here. So this bike's had a little bit of moisture inside of here. Obviously, as you can see, it's all kind of corroded a little bit. Everything still should be working, so we would recommend maybe cleaning this up a little bit. And this is really what we're going for, is just the Bendix in the back here. And it's so close to coming out, but you can't do it without removing the flywheel. So it won't come out. You can kind of twist it down, but it's not helpful. So we're going to remove the center nut here. This is a 17 millimeter. Don't lose your washer. The next thing we're going to use is our flywheel puller. We're going to insert it on here and we'll pop this right off. On this 2-stroke model, we're going to screw the flywheel puller onto the outside of the flywheel threads there. And once that's on, we can then screw the center in and it's going to push against the end of the crankshaft. So we'll hold this still and we're going to screw this in and it'll pry the flywheel right off the side of the engine. So now that our flywheel is removed, we can remove our puller. We're not going to need that anymore. You're going to want to make sure when you take this off, you don't lose your keyway. And this one stayed on the edge of the crank here. You can see it's still there. And they don't typically come off the crank, so that's good. We want to make sure we don't lose that though. So if you feel something or hear something tink down, make sure you don't lose that centering pin. Now then, this leaves us with our Bendix. So it's super simple at this point. We literally just pulled the Bendix out, and this is the old one. And we'll unpackage a new one here next. Okay, as you can see, this is the new one on top, and I can spin it and it goes back nicely. Nice smooth operation. In the old one, there's literally no moving this, so it's stuck in, it's not kicking out to hit the flywheel to start the bike. So this one's bad, and we'll put the new one in. So it's pretty simple. There's just a tab on the back it's going to slide into, and then the front of this slides actually in the cover. So we'll slide that in, we'll put the flywheel back on, and like I mentioned, make sure your keyway stays on. So we'll install this. We need to reinstall our washer here, and we need to torque this to 45 foot-pounds, and this is specific to this model, so please make sure if you're doing this at home you check your model. And then you want medium Loctite on this, so we'll put some on there. And we'll get this torqued down, and we'll put the cover back on. Now let's see how she works here. We're good. So now it's cranking over, the bike will fire. Electric start system's back up to working. Thanks for tuning in. This was Jared from 3C's Recreation with the help from Braxton. If If you guys need beta parts, give us a call. We're in Western New York. We do a ton of beta stuff. We've got bikes scattered all over the shop here. Middle of riding season, people need their bikes fixed, so give us a call. We can give you guys discounts on parts. Thanks for watching.
Oh yeah.